Travis Wayne Goodsell. There's no way Mormons are going to be defending John Dehlin. John Dehlin has made it clear he wants the church destroyed. It's been 5 days since he's put up another video. He was on a spree there. And then all of a sudden something happened and he stopped for the moment. I wonder what it could be. But there's no way Mormons are defending John Dehlin with thumbs down on my videos about how I expose John Dehlin as helping the church and as a fraud trying to become a cult leader to his followers. And so those of you who love John Dehlin, do you not see how you're behaving exactly like Mormons are to Russell M. Nelson? This is why I warned you guys. You should have known the patterns from being in the church and choosing to leave it. But it wasn't for the patterns that you left. It was for something that offended you, or the church bullied and abused you, rather than identifying the patterns for that offense, for that bullying and abuse, for the lies that they've told. There's a pattern behind it. And John Dehlin is using that exact same pattern, just to attack the church rather than to support the church. But his attack against the church is the wrong approach, because it feeds the church rather than tears down the church. And he may get a following, but I fear, because I posted the video clip from his news interview, that one day he's going to say, you know what, guys, Mormonism is okay, the church has agreed to take me back, and he's all of a sudden going to talk all nice and pretty about the church again, leaving all of you hanging, going, what the hell just happened? What do we do now? Where do we go for truth? As you thought he was telling you the truth. Or the church makes some change, and John Dehlin says, I can now seek to go back to church because they have made this change. Have you forgotten the scripture? You shall know a false prophet by their fruits. Fruits are the end result. The seed is the initial word that is spoken. So all of us on YouTube, we all speak words. Not all of us are asking you to do something. The church is asking you to do something. And so if you do it, you will find out immediately whether or not he's a false prophet or a true prophet. So let's take, for example, coronavirus. Nelson is telling you to go to church, go to the temple, go on your missions, support the businesses, go back to school. What are the consequences? Oh, you got coronavirus and many of you died. Okay, so following the word of the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints caused sickness and death. So with John Dehlin, we don't see the end result yet. See, all he's doing is attacking the church through other people's emotions about the church. The church was mean to them for being black, LGBTQIAO+. I did the video warning about that. Think of yourself as human first, because the bullies don't see you as human. The church doesn't see you as human. The church needs to know you are human. Let them know. And if you have to roar that you are human. And women and the poor and every other discriminated human. Because the church is white supremacist. And so, what are the consequences? Again, we don't know them yet. He is asking you to pay him. That's a warning sign. But if that's his job, okay. Shouldn't you go out and flip burgers? Yeah, that's not going to pay for a lifestyle, is it? But he's a psychologist. Doesn't he work as a psychologist? Don't they get paid $100 an hour? Or $200, or depending on insurance? Because if insurance covers it, he probably gets upwards of $500 an hour. That's how they work. But yeah, you shouldn't be asking for money to be warning people, trying to tell people the truth about the church. So that is the immediate danger sign. He doesn't seem to tell people what to do other than to be angry at the church, to try to incite the mob against the church, not for violent purposes, but to speak out and call them out and help people leave the church. He does support diversity, but in so doing, as I warned you, think of yourselves as humans first. Don't allow people to encourage your diversity, your difference, your discrimination category, because that's a segregation tactic. So John Dehlin is involved in segregating you. He's the umbrella to unite you, just like the Democrat Party, but just as the Democrat Party, it's a segregational system within their control, within his control. And of course, the segregation discriminates against whom they cancel culture. And under the system of cancel culture, innocent people become victims without getting due process, because cancel culture is all about accusing people to destroy. And yes, our justice system has failed us, and so they weren't able to handle cancel culture, as they've failed numerous times, allowing innocent people to be punished and those who are guilty to be set free. That's a great concern, even with liberal positions, is that people who are guilty don't get punished. Oh, we need to forgive. They've learned their lesson. They'll never do it again. No, they keep doing it. So, yeah, just a heads up warning. There are red flags for John Dehlin. And by you adding to what the Mormons are doing on other channels that don't talk about John Dehlin, you are becoming as Mormons. And in so doing, John Dehlin is demonstrating his brainwashing control over you. I hope you understand that. Because if he can get you guys to destroy me and cancel culture me, he wins. Because there's nobody else who will then warn you. Just like the church. They've been trying to assassinate me. They don't bother with cancel culture. They go for the jugular. And so they get their minions. The coronavirus prevented the Minions movie from coming out. There was going to be a Rise of Gru or something like that. What happened to that? It was cancel cultured because of coronavirus. Anyway, but yeah, Mormons all are brainwashed to target anybody who speaks ill of the church so that they can destroy them for the church. That's how the church works. So don't be a Mormon. That's the message. Don't be a Mormon. Heads up, the church has announced that back on the, I'm not sure, I think it was today. Can't remember which date. I think it was today. That they're going to do a continental brainwashing on the youth of Mormons around the world. And 6 different youth conferences up until conference, so that they can have something to talk about in conference. But yeah, there's going to be a Russian one. YouTube has a church site for the Russian language version. Isn't that nice? Because Russia's our friend, huh? They didn't hack us. They didn't put Trump in presidency. They didn't. God. So, yeah, heads up on that. Oaks was not mentioned. You had to go down to find his name, as he's in part of Spain and Latin America. Yeah, Holland is over Russia. He gets to be the speaker for the Russian language version. So that's going to be a dangerous situation, as it's unclear as to what their intentions are here. For the most part, they've been silent since winning my lawsuit, as I didn't even get to present evidence. So I was denied petitioning, and the church is now remaining silent. We still have, did they say next week? Or is it this week? Yeah, it must be next week for Garland. Merrick Garland getting sworn in, because there's a whole lot of stuff that needs to be decided by somebody who's not a Trump loyalist in the justice system. So I'm hoping that the FBI took my case serious and are going to have it re-reviewed by the new Attorney General. But It's just unbelievable. So let's hope something happens for that. And then there's signs in the heavens. Not too many people are catching on to those. So pay attention. Because notice Nelson is not a part of this world tour this time. When he first got in, he was a part of the world tour. He's not doing a world tour this time. He's staying at home. So that's interessante.